Items. They're what makes Mario Kart the unique racing game it is. They're what contribute to the familiar, chaotic atmosphere we all know and love. And hate. There are some items in the Mario Kart series that quite frankly don't deserve to be here, so I thought I'd rant about them today. Okay, this one is fresh off the oven and there's some built-up rage, so here we go. The Kamik item is quite possibly the worst item ever conceived in Mario Kart. I don't know whose idea it was to put this piece of garbage into my beloved racing game, but we need to have a chat. First of all, this item sucks. For everyone. When someone behind you uses Kamik, they fly forward and sprinkle some evil dust to turn you and the others into some random enemy character. It also causes different stage hazards to appear. If you get transformed on a drift, then it sucks because it'll disrupt it. But that's kind of it. Then you're just like a conch door for 5 seconds or something. And the person who uses the item can be affected by the stage hazards too, right? How is that helping them at all? And then the worst part of all is that this is the only way to unlock some of the enemy characters in Mario Kart World. And this item is not very common, so you have to be 1, lucky enough for someone behind you to get this item, 2, be in Kamik's path so you get transformed, and 3, hope that you manage to transform into the character you're hoping for, which typically depends on what area you're in at the time. So it is completely up to luck whether or not you get the enemy character you want. It could take ages to collect all of them if you don't want to use an exploit. And that's just so stupid. I'm someone who loves to fully complete games, so having something this dependent on RNG be a thing I have to go through to get all my characters unlocked is so agitating and unintuitive.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Moving on from that mess, we have what is universally agreed upon to be the worst item, the Blooper. It was introduced in Mario Kart DS, and then Nintendo decided to just keep bringing it back for some reason. This item is once again just so stupid for everyone involved. All it does is spray ink on your screen, which isn't going to do anything to an experienced player who already knows the tracks. If anything, this item is just unfair to new players or people who aren't as good. If my mom got hit by a blooper, it'd affect her a lot worse than me, and I feel like that's not good item design. Take a red shell, for example. This would affect me and my mom equally. It'd spin us out and slow us down, but then we'd keep going. Then for the person who actually uses the blooper, they're disappointed because they know they could have gotten something way better, like a star or some mushrooms, something to actually help them catch up in the race. Plus, every YouTuber knows that the blooper is super annoying to have to edit around when you're recording footage. Luckily, it seems that the bloopers have been made much less common in Mario Kart World. So that's nice at least, but just leaves me thinking, why not just remove it entirely? I promise you nobody would miss it, unless there's any die-hard blooper fans out there. Oh good, Nintendo knew how much we all loved the coin item, so they made sure to give it 2 annoying siblings to debut in Mario Kart World. Yay. So these items aren't as egregiously bad as the others, but the question block and the coin shell are just... did they really have to exist? Coins are important in racing, and now with a total of 20, it's always good to get an extra coin, but there are gonna be coins on the track. Why do 3 separate items also give you coins? And both the question mark block and the coin shell help the other people on the track. When you finish hitting the block, coins spew out for other people to grab freely. And the coin shell is just a nice free line of coins for the people in front of you to nab. When you get one of these items, you're just wishing you got something to defend yourself or catch up with instead. Now, these items aren't bad per se, but they're kinda just unnecessary and obnoxious. Both the Lucky 7 and Crazy 8 include a star, which is low-key the only thing that's really helpful. They're technically better than a star because they have extra things, but I promise half the people who get either of these things is just spamming the item button until all the surrounding items are used. They're just so gimmicky. I've heard people say this before, but it's literally like a Nintendo employee asked their 5-year-old what item they want to see in the next game, and this was the result. I'm glad that Nintendo gave up this tired gimmick in Mario Kart World. The last item I'll touch on is probably the most divisive item in the game, the Spiny Shell, or the blue shell as it's so affectionately referred to as. I'll start off with, this is necessary. As much as we all hate it, this item is essential to keeping the game balanced and ensuring that first place doesn't get too far ahead. That being said, it still sucks. Nothing is more annoying than being 5 feet away from the finish line and getting absolutely decimated by one of these things last minute, and then somehow an entire generation passes you before you recover. And as annoying as it is to get hit by, it's also, once again, not really helpful to the person who gets the shell in the first place. I think that in Worlds you can roll the blue shell in higher placements, but in older games you were really only getting this at the back of the pack. So tell me exactly what the blue shell is going to do for me if I'm all the way back there. Okay, great, first place gets blasted, but I'm still all the way back here. I would have rathered a star or a bullet or something else to help me instead of just hurting first place for no good reason. This was a shorter video than usual, but I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant anyway. There were some items I didn't mention, like the Thundercloud from Wii, for example, but I've actually never played Mario Kart Wii, so I'm sorry. But feel free to talk about your thoughts on that item and other items that you think suck. Until next time, have a great day or night.